It's a new year, a new season, and we are underway.
Really dominating fashion here today is going to win.
2, 3, 4 for the final time.
Win number 1 of the season, only just barely.
He is going to win here at the Nashville Speedway.
Wins the Emerson Electric 100K.
Gonna be Igor Barretto's gonna eke it out.
Cup Series champion is Shane Lake in the number 15.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
Lebanon, Tennessee. Just less than an hour drive outside of downtown Nashville plays host to the 17th race of 32 in season number 3 of the NOFSRL Cabela's Cup Series. We are here tonight at this 1.3 mile concrete trioval track to kick off the second half of the season in the Ruby Tuesday 400. 16 races are all that remain after this one. We're coming into this one. We've done 16 already, and it is time for the final charge to the end of the season. Coming into this race, Trey Smith leads the point standings, 440 points to the championship. Sam Oskin in second with 415. He's 25 back. Darian Arnsdorf in third. He is 30 back. Brad Stover is fourth in points. He's 31 back. Ben Crouch, the Season 1 champion, coming off of his win at Road America. He is 34 points back. Jacob Thibodeau is 43 points back. Will Parrish, 45 points back, tied with Benny Watson there for 7th in the standings. Roy Ribbleton is 9th in the points after a stellar run at Road America, 46 points back in points. And Eric Monaco is 10th in points. He rounds out the top 10 there, 62 points back of points leader Trey Smith. And it's a rock car racing front row here at Nashville. They will lead us to the green flag here in just a few moments. Let's go down trackside. We'll get you your starting lineup so we can get this race started. And the engines fire here at Nashville. 42 going to roll off. It's Sophia Fragniti there on the pole position, starting alongside Kansas winner Joey Hightower. In row number 2, we find Owen Miles in the 25. He is starting alongside Chase Buck in the 4. In row number 3, we find two-time winner this season, Ben Crouch, winner at Texas and Road America, starting alongside the 78 of Ben Grorich. In row number 4, we find Richmond winner Darian Arnsdorf. He is starting alongside the 51 of Ethan Lewis. Rounding out the top 10, we find Beverly Creed in the 32 alongside Keegan Thompson. And everyone is rolling off of pit road here, so we are ready to get this one started. Time to kick off the second half of the season. And what a better track to do it at. Nashville Superspeedway, one of the best tracks we'll come to all season long. Saw a great race at Scott's last night. We are ready for another one. Pace car is down. We're coming down through the trioval. The Ruby Tuesday 400 in the second half of Season 3 is green. Lap number 1 is going to be led by Owen Miles in the 25. Ben Crouch settles into second. Darren Arnsdorf, Beverly Creed, they're 3 wide for that second position, and 3 wide behind as Titan Nicholas gets to the inside of RJ Rosero and Joey Hightower. And contact there as they go down to the grass. Ben Growich and Charlie Davenport. Are they going to join the field? Get on the brakes, guys! How in the world did they not wreck there? Amazing save by those guys. And they keep it straight here after a scary situation here in the early laps at Nashville Superspeedway. Surely could have been a caution, but thankfully it wasn't, and we are still racing right now. Owen Miles has pulled out to a lead ahead of Beverly Creed. Darian Ornsdorf is third. Pole sitter Sophia Fragniti there in the fourth position. Ethan Lewis working his way into fifth there as Ben Crouch, last week's winner, comes into that sixth position. And now we have an incident over in turn 3 as they headed down the back straightaway. Will Parrish, 7th place pointsman, is involved in that. Nathan Smith is in that in car 84. So far, it looks like they were the only 2 victims. So our first caution comes out on lap number 3. And it could have come out on lap number 2. Thankfully, it didn't. Awesome save there by Ben Grurich and Charlie Davenport. Goodness me. As everyone gets narrowed up here, doesn't look like we're going to see any takers to the pit road of the lead bunch under this caution flag. And Mitchell Collins with a little bit of damage there on that 59 on the right front of that JD Sports Dodge. Will Parrish looks like he's going to come down on the pit road. They're going to try to repair the left side of that Sprite Chevrolet SS. And we will spend a few laps here under the caution flag, and shortly we will get back to green flag racing. Meantime, let's go back and take a look at what happened to bring out caution number 1 here at Nashville Superspeedway in Lebanon, Tennessee. So taking a look at what happened to bring out the first caution of the race here at Nashville Superspeedway, Mitchell Collins takes a dive bomb there on Nathan Smith and Will Parrish, 3 wide off of 2, and Collins pushes Smith up into Parrish. They get pinched there, and that sends the 0 of Parrish spinning. Collins gets down to the inside and kind of gets around it. Smith spins up in front of Josiah Robinson there in the 52. Robinson might have a little bit of damage there also as a result of that incident. But that is why we are under the first caution of the race here in the Ruby Tuesday 400. Let's go back and take a look at another angle. So taking a look at full speed out of turn number 2, Collins on the inside of Parrish and Smith. They get pinched there, and Smith up into Robinson, who had absolutely nowhere to go. Looks like Robinson may not have a whole lot of damage from that, but Smith and Parrish's cars might be a little worse for wear aerodynamically. Hopefully not. Collins, a little bit of damage there on that right front, but we'll see if that affects him at all. No pit cycles here under this caution, so Owen Miles continues to lead this thing. Anyway, the track is clear. We are good to go. So let's head to the restart here at Nashville. Field still pacing here under the first caution of the race here at Nashville Superspeedway for a minor jam up there with Will Parrish, Nathan Smith, and Mitchell Collins. Potentially others. Have not seen the replay myself yet, but you, the viewer, already have. And you can tell we are about to get this race restarted. Owen Miles leads this thing ahead of Beverly Creed. Darian Arnsdorf, Sophia Fragniti settled down into the 4th position after starting on the pole. Ethan Lewis is 5th. And then it's Ben Crouch, Titan Nicholas, Dan Park, Ben Young, and RJ Rosero, the top 10. Green flag getting ready to come back out. We'll resume the Ruby Tuesday 400. Oh, great restart there deep in the field for Ethan Lewis, already to the inside of Fragniti, and the same for Titan Nicholas there in the 17. He's going to get underneath the Season 1 champion and 2-time winner this season, Ben Crouch. Right around goes that Logan Sport number 17, and now they'll freight train on the inside lane around Sophia Fragniti as Dan Park and Ben Crouch join them down on the bottom side. And as opposed to last season, the outside lane was the absolute dominant lane around Nashville Superspeedway, and this year it is all down on the inside, at least for right now. We'll have to see how the rest of this race goes, if they can get some rubber laid down up there, and of course it all depends on how the tires wear here on this concrete surface. Of course, expect pit cycles for this race right around just after halfway, maybe lap 32 to 35, I'll say is the window. I'm usually never right with that window, but it's just a guess. It's going to be right around lap 30 to 31 or so that they should start. Maybe even stretch it to 32, but we'll just see what happens here. Down the back straightaway, it is single file through the first 5 or 6 positions. Now it's going to be Titan Nicholas taking a look to the inside of Park, though. He's going to change that up a little bit. But Owen Miles is certainly liking what he's seeing here for second as Ethan Lewis gets to the inside of Arnsdorf. That's allowing Owen Miles to pull away, but Ethan Lewis looking very fast here, and Ben Crouch going to give Arnsdorf the old boot scoot boogie there through turn 1 and 2. A little bit of short track racing there on that 14-degree concrete banking. Beverly Creed also going to get by the 14 of Darian Arnsdorf. That's for 4th place now. So they put Arnsdorf 5th, Nicholas 6th, then Park, Johnson, Thompson, and Crawford. That is the top 10. That is how you round out the top 10 right now. But Ethan Lewis trying everything he can to close in on the Phantom number 25 of Owen Miles, who continues to lead this thing. Got up there early in this race, and I believe he's led every single lap so far. He marched right to the front on the start of the race. Of course, now you don't see a whole lot of 3 wide right now. You don't see any 3 wide, I think, because I guess everyone's minding their P's and Q's right now. Everyone knows 3 wide here, especially at this part of the track here, turn 1 and 2. 3 wide can be very, very dangerous, especially coming out of turn number 2. Well, on the front straightaway and into 3, it works out just fine. So everyone's being cautious for the most part, just trying to get to the pit cycle, I guess, which would be in about 16 or 17 laps at this point. That is, unless we get another caution. But with as cautious as everyone is being, I don't think we get a caution right now. Hello for the race lead. Ethan Lewis to the inside of Owen Miles, side by side out of 4. Give it to Ethan Lewis in the 51, stretching away from Miles immediately. And Crouch is going to take second away in that 74. He's looking for back-to-back wins here in the Cabela's Cup Series and his 3rd of the season. He would join Benny Watson in that regard. Watson, by the way, that 53, there he is in the 29th position, just behind Sam Oskin. We'll check in up front once again here. Top 4 singled out. Lewis, Crouch, Miles, Creed, and then Arnsdorf, Nicholas, Johnson ahead of Park at the line. Thompson and Crawford. That is the top 10 right now. Sebastian Kugelon just outside of the top 10 there in that Trinity River Racing 82, being stalked by the 98 of Stephen Colon, who's flying the banner high for NS Racing. And for the lead, Crouch almost got there on the backside of Ethan Lewis. He tried diving it in there, didn't quite get there, and look, wow, Kugelon holds off Colon on the outside line. So the outside's starting to come in here as we're wearing out the tires. Well, in turn 3 and 4 anyway. In turn 1 and 2, looks like the inside lane is definitely the way to go. And Cologne stretches away mightily ahead of Fragniti, Silver Point, Trey Smith, and Ben Grurich. And how about over in turn 3 and 4 here? Trey Smith comes in 25 points ahead of Samit Oskin. Samit Oskin's very deep in the field, and he is looking to grow his points lead even further. Owen Miles to the inside of Ben Crouch there for that 2nd position. And we'll see if he can take it away. Crouch coming back on that outside, headed off into turn 3. Oh, he drove it in deep on the top side, but Miles is going to clear him out of the corner. And that's definitely going to allow Lewis to pull away a little bit more as that battle continues on. As we take a look back here, Brad Stover, 4th place pointsman, was right in the middle of that. 3 wide, headed off into turn 1. Monaco going to take the dive on Stover. Parrish there on the outside. These are all points contenders right here, as well as Roy Ribbleton. That's getting awful tight, headed down the back straightaway. Parrish scraping along the outside wall there. Saw the sparks coming off of that 0. Somehow they survived the 3 wide this time. Now Stover's going to take a look at a 2-for-1 special on the inside of Ribbleton and Monaco. That would be for 32nd, and looks like Stover is going to get it. We'll check in up front once again, as Lewis has built a comfortable lead over Owen Miles, and it is an absolute hornet's nest back here for 3rd place. Crouch stretches away from that, then Arnsdorf, Creed, Johnson, Nicholas, and Park. Park taking the dive on that 17, headed into turn number 1. It looks like he's going to take that position away handedly. That is for 7th place on the track. And it is now almost a 2nd lead for Ethan Lewis ahead of Owen Miles. Obviously the tire's wearing off now, so not a whole lot of moves being made at this point. That is until we look back here a little further. Crawford and Nicholas going at it, and Stephen Colon used up about every inch of Kukulon's left side to get by that 82. Now Kip Silverpoint's going to get by that 82 there in that 68. Trey Smith getting a little bit of challenge there from Sophia Fragniti in the 38. Fragniti, who once led the points here in the Cabela's Cup Series, now comes in 14th in points after finishing poorly at Road America. Lost 4 positions coming out of there, but looking to rebound now as much as she possibly can. Now the gap to the lead from Owen Miles to Ethan Lewis, 1.26 seconds. Lewis to Miles, as Miles is in a heated confrontation with Ben Crouch right now for that 2nd position. Coming to lap 24, where we now see 37 laps to go in the Ruby Tuesday 400. Only 1 caution so far on lap number 3. We've been green since then. Have not seen pit stops yet. With the exception of the cars that were involved, which were Nathan Smith, Will Parrish, and Mitchell Collins. They have steadily worked their way back up through the field, especially Nathan Smith and Parrish. Collins still back in the middle of this hornet's nest for almost last place. It's Trey Wright, Alexander Rowe, Roy Ribbleton, and Josiah Robinson are right there. They pinch like an accordion, headed off into turn number 1, and that will put Mitchell Collins back as the last car on track in that 59. He's having a difficult time right now. For 2nd, Crouch gets by Miles, and Arnsdorf could get by that 25 also, headed off into turn 1. He is there on the inside, and he is going to take that position handedly. But now it's a 2.5 lead for Ethan Lewis. The only Velocistar car to win this season has been Betty Watson, and he's won 3 times. Velocistar, otherwise, oh, hello, Trey Wright got into the outside wall out of turn number 4. No caution there. We stay green. Big damage to the whole right side and back side and right front of the 90 of Wright. And he's not going to quite come down the pit road. He's just going to, I guess he's just going to get a feel of what's going on with his car before the cycle comes up. Shockingly, that was not a caution. But oh well. As Lewis still has a 1.7 second lead ahead now of Crouch, then Miles, Arnsdorf, Creed, then Crawford, Park, Nicholas, Thompson, and Kukulon. That is the top 10 right now. Miles with a big dive on Crouch, headed into turn 3 and 4, and easily takes that 2nd position away. Coming to lap 29 this time. It's a 1.78 second gap to Lewis, but pit cycles are on the way here within the next 5 laps or so. Frantic stuff going on back here. Joey Hightower, Kansas winner trying to get his way up through the field. Knows his way around these D-shaped ovals very well. And all of this skirmishing right now between the 98, 8, and 15. This is for 12th, 13th, and 14th, if I'm not mistaken. Check that. It's for 13th, 14th, and 15th. Trey Smith, the points leader, is right there in 16th. Don't look now. Here comes Sam Adoskin, Las Vegas and Homestead winner this season. Second place points man, 25 behind Trey Smith. And the points coming in, he's right there in the 19th position, not very far behind. Now the lead for Ethan Lewis shrinking a little bit now, down to 1.34 seconds as opposed to 1.78 when we last checked in. We are now at just past halfway here in the Ruby Tuesday 400. We'll see if we have any takers down to the pit road this time by, and it doesn't look like this time. Oh, we got one. There's one. Nathan Smith takes it hot down to the inside. They're heading off into that corner about 173 miles per hour, and that's part of the reason why we removed. There's typically a grass strip there on the outside of the warm-up lane, but these guys have been taking it so hot going off into the turns. We're now going to see pit cycles, probably, as Trey Wright comes down. Ben Crouch comes down onto the pit road. Not very many takers this time. Well, there's more. Daisy Johnson, Joey Hightower, Andrew Miller coming down onto the pit road. It's Eric Monaco, I believe, coming down on the pit road. Yes, it is. And now we're likely going to see a lot more takers this time. Yes, Ethan Lewis comes down. Miles Crawford. Oh, man, that's a tight pit entry there. Looks like they're keeping it clean for now. Arnsdorf stays out. Grorich, Silver Point, Kukulon, and Cologne. Fragniti stays out. Reynolds, Ribbleton, Rowe all stay out. Everybody else comes down onto the pit road. But we'll take a look at Lewis for right now. We'll see where he ends up coming off. That's Miller and Hightower from the last cycle. Monaco as well from the last one. It's going to be a 4-tire stop with fuel, likely for everybody on the pit road now. And with this, they will all be able to certainly make it to the end. Lewis pulling out of his stall. Watch for Miles. Still working on the left side there. And Lewis is going to come out far ahead. Crawford leapfrogs to that second position. Miles, Creed, Nicholas. But we'll take a look at the rest of these guys when they come off here. Arnsdorf was leading the race coming down onto the pit road. There's Grorich right with him. Now working on the left side. Here's Lewis coming around. And easily, it is going to be Ethan Lewis taking the race lead back here at Nashville Superspeedway. And the caution is out. Oh my goodness, big crash, turn 4. Nathan Smith, Andrew Williams, a big smash there in turn 3 and 4, right up to the outside wall. The front end sheared away on both of them, and certainly they are going to be out of this. But thankfully that happened right at the tail end of pit cycles, so hopefully that means most of the cars will be on the lead lap and we won't have any traffic to worry about in front of the leaders here on this next restart. That's Ethan Lewis, who was leading when the pit cycles happened. He had a 1.83 second lead at one point. That shrunk to about 1.34 before he came down the pit road. Well, that is before Ben Crouch came down the pit road. He was second when he came down the pit road. That slowed everybody up, so Ethan Lewis had a little bit of a bigger lead there when he came around after Crouch came down. Then he came down, and then the majority of everybody came down onto the pit road. And I guess it's no surprise that Ethan Lewis also has the fastest lap of the race so far, a 30.139. Faster than everybody else in the race so far. And, well, Andrew Williams and Nathan Smith not going to be participating in the race anymore after that. But, we are under the second caution of the race here in the Ruby Tuesday 400. 24 laps from the checkered flag. But, let's go back and take a look at what happened to bring it out here, to bring out caution number 2 just at the tail end of pit cycles. So here we are in turn 3 and 4. Thibodeau slides right up into Nathan Smith. Smith, who's already had one go around tonight, there he goes into the outside wall, and he's going to slide down the track. Joey Hightower just narrowly misses him, as does Keegan Thompson, Ben Young, and then along comes, bam, right there, Andrew Williams comes in, nowhere to go, and slams into the spinning 84 car. But that is why we are under the second caution of the race. Let's take a look at another angle. So here we are watching overhead at full speed. Thibodeau's going to slide up there on the inside, right up into Smith, spin him around, and off the wall he comes, and Williams, bam, right there. The 27 slams into him, and how in the world everybody else makes it through, I have no idea. But Ethan Lewis leads after the pit cycles. He's going to lead the field to the green flag once again. The track is clear. We are good to go. So let's head to the restart here at Nashville. Finishing up the second caution of the race here at Nashville Superspeedway. We'll be 21 laps away from the checkered flag when they come around this time. An accident happened in turn 3 and 4 with Nathan Smith and Andrew Williams this time around to bring out the second yellow flag, and neither one of them will be joining us the rest of the race. Kane and Bill are also falling out of the race under this caution with no fuel in that 95 car, weren't able to get it fired back up, so they have pulled that car behind the wall. Trey Wright, the only car a lap down. Ethan Lewis led the field coming into green flag cycles. He is still leading here on this restart. Leads Ben Crouch, Crawford, then Arnsdorf, Silver Point to the green flag. Headed off into turn number 1. Crouch took a look down there on the inside, but Lewis stretching right away on the restart ahead of the 74. Crawford going to look to the inside in that 07 for that second position. And Crouch trying to work that top side. We haven't seen it work all race long, as opposed to last season where the outside was the line. Now headed off into 1. Certainly Crawford's going to get ahead, but how about Arnsdorf trying to move that 07 up a little bit? Boy, this is getting crowded. Oh, Cologne's going to scoot Arnsdorf up into turn number 3. And you see all this shuffling is allowing Lewis to pull ahead again. He has dominated this race since he got the lead. He has hardly relinquished it. The only reason he relinquished it was due to green flag cycle at pit stops. As soon as he got around Miles, he pulled away to a near 2-second lead at one point before those cycles happened, and here he is leading again, but Crawford and Cologne trying to draw back in. 0.58 the last time by. We see a lot of shuffling going on through the field behind that, but the gap 0.34 to Ethan Lewis's lead. RJ Rosero on the pit road, and goodness, that was a tight pinch. Don't quite know what's going on with that 13 car, but here comes Cologne on the inside of Crawford there for that second position, and Crouch on the inside there for 4th. And he is going to... is he going to take that position away from Creed or not? Not quite yet, completely, but into turn number 1 now. He'll have that jump for sure. Let's take a look. There's Trey Smith in the 77. Sam Adoskin there stalking him in the 83, and 3 wide behind him with Kukulon, Park, and Reynolds. Oh, Park's going to get turned around by Reynolds, headed off into turn number 3. Is he going to slide back up in the field, or will he hold on to it? He saves it. What a save by Dan Park there off the nose of Christopher Reynolds, and we have no caution. That is a tough break for Dan Park. Such a strong run he was having tonight, but it has gone to har for sure after that. Strange they did not throw the caution there for that. But it's still Ethan Lewis leading, coming around for 15 laps to go this time by. Brad Crawford second, Stephen Colon in third, Ben Crouch there in fourth, then Arnsdorf, Creed, Miles, Silverpoint, Trey Smith, and Ryan Durrani. That is the top 10 right now. The gap 0.68 between Lewis and Crawford. Samuel Oskin slipping backwards on that outside lane. He had Titan Nicholas go by him already. Daisy Johnson, Christopher Reynolds right there. His teammate Sebastian Kukulon sliding back a little bit on that outside of Josiah Robinson. And that is definitely going to allow Trey Smith to continue to grow his points lead. However, Darian Arnsdorf is ahead of Trey Smith on track, but Smith is in 9th, Arnsdorf is in 5th, so that's a 4-position difference. So the most Trey Smith right now would grow his points lead by is 1 point. With Osgen having slipped backwards, Osgen may be overtaken by Arnsdorf. Stover is going to slip back in the points a bit. Ben Crouch is up there as well, 5th place points man. He's going to have 2 solid runs in a row after his win at Road America, and he is 4th on track right now in that 74. Came in 34 back. He may break that margin into the 20s here after this race. But the gap now to Ethan Lewis at 12 laps to go, 0.37 between him and Brad Crawford. We saw a last lap pass last night in the Scots National Series here at Nashville Superspeedway, with Juan Rodriguez taking his actual second win of the season, second win of his career and of the season after going winless in Season 1. And he did it in dramatic fashion. Hello, Stephen Colon. This is exactly how Juan Rodriguez took the race lead last night. A 2-for-1 special through turn 1 and 2 on a massive dive bomb. And Stephen Colon has gone to the race lead here at Nashville Superspeedway, coming around for 10 laps to go in the Ruby Tuesday 400. Lewis trying to hold off the hard-charging 07 of Brad Crawford. He'll do that for right now. Headed off into turn number 1, though. Crawford looking for the big dive, and Crouch looking for the big dive there on Arnsdorf for 4th. Crawford's going to get by. Crouch will get by. But that is definitely going to allow that NS Racing number 98 of Stephen Colon to pull away. Crawford and Crouch trying to avoid that from happening. And Lewis, the dominant car of the night, slipping backwards now. Arnsdorf trying to push Crouch by that 51 and maybe run him up a little bit in turn 1 and 2. That second thing's not going to happen, but the first thing will, as Crouch does indeed get by the 51 of Lewis as well as Arnsdorf. So move Lewis back to the 5th position. Crouch underneath Crawford for 2nd now, as we're coming around for 8 laps to go here at Nashville Superspeedway. Crouch with a hard charge again. He is going to take 2nd. Could he have another late race charge that leads to a victory? 0.81 seconds he's got to make up on Stephen Colon. He's got to be perfect these final 8 laps, offensively and defensively. Crawford closing back in. He's already blown it. Crawford on the inside of Crouch, and Crawford is going to take 2nd back away from that 74. Stephen Colon is absolutely loving this. 7 laps to go this time by. 0.99 seconds. Basically a full second now. The difference between 1st and 2nd. Colon won in Season 1 in his 3rd start at Dover. did not win in Season 2. Comes into this race 20th in points after a great run at Road America. Looking to steal this one late. 6 laps to go, 1.2 seconds. The difference, Crouch trying to lean in on that outside lane on Ethan Lewis to hold on to 4th. Lewis will get by, as will Miles, Creed, and Nicholas. And there's Trey Smith on the outside as well. He's going to slip backwards a few positions as Ryan Durrani and Christopher Reynolds get by him. But now 5 laps to go for Stephen Colon. The gap stayed the same, 1.21 seconds between the 98 and 07. If anyone wants to have any hope of catching that 98 now, they would need a caution to set up a green-white checkered finish. Rosero still on the pit road. Don't know what in the world happened to that 13, but he has been down there for several laps now, and I guess he has not come back up onto the track. But now 4 laps remaining here at Nashville Superspeedway. Stephen Colon, 1.28 seconds. That's the lead, and it's growing. Coming about for 3 laps to go this time. Lewis stretching away from this hornet's nest here as Crouch on the inside with Nicholas and Creed and Miles on the outside headed off into turn number 1. Crouch looking for a 3-for-1. Well, he'll get a 2-for-1 for the time being. But just what a showing late from Stephen Colon, working his way through traffic. And you don't need to lead the most laps to win a race. It's if you lead the lap. The lap that counts at the end of it. And he's 2 laps away from career win number 2. A long, elusive second victory. He could have, would have, should have had it already. But now, Vernon Nathan Stapleton and NS Racing, he's coming around the final corner. He's coming around for the white flag. One more time around Nashville Superspeedway. 1.3 miles. All that remain for Stephen Colon. 1.25 now, the difference. He can coast pretty much now. Crawford second. Arnsdorf third. Lewis fourth. Nicholas fifth. Stephen Colon off the final corner. He steals one late here in Lebanon, Tennessee. Stephen Colon wins the Ruby Tuesday 400 at Nashville. Good showing there. And again, he didn't lead the most laps, but he did lead the one that counts. You only need to lead the last one to win the race, no matter what the critics say. And he has done that, and he is a winner here in the Cabela's Cup Series. Once again, this is his second career victory. After that thrilling last lap at Dover in Season 1, he went Season 2 without a victory. And here he is in Season 3. He has his first win of the season here at Nashville Superspeedway in the Ruby Tuesday 400. Ahead of Brad Crawford by 1.227 seconds. Arnsdorf third, Lewis fourth, Titan Nicholas fifth, and Crouch, Silver Point, Creed, Grorich, and Trey Smith round out the top 10, and we will scroll through the rest of your standings here. And Trey Wright, Mitchell Collins finished a lap down. Rosero, a total of 19 laps down, actually. Charlie Davenport apparently was out there in 38th with a piston failure at some point. Kanan Biller with no fuel, and Andrew Williams and Nathan Smith who were involved in that second caution just after pit cycles were the only other ones not able to finish this race. So that'll wrap us up here at Nashville Superspeedway. Congratulations to Stephen Colon for his second career Cabela's Cup Series victory. We'll take a look at your driver's point standings, your owner's point standings, and we'll wrap it up here in Lebanon, Tennessee. Y'all take care, stay safe, and have a good one.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.